Now, for some 30-something years, about 30 years, I started getting involved in June 1982 in Israel and Lebanon. And it's a very sobering thought that your entire adult life has passed, and you're focused on this tiny, tiny little pinprick in the world's map. The range of knowledge is so broad and has such depth, and I devoted my entire adult life to memorizing every period and every comma on this Israel-Palestine conflict. And so, of course, there are moments when you doubt, was it really worth it? Was there a point to it? But I have to say now, for the first time in a very long time, I feel hopeful, because I feel like the people have been stirred, the people have awakened, in particular in Egypt. And there's now hope. There's now, yes, there's now hope. And I think that there's reason to be reasonably optimistic that as late American-Palestinian writer Edward Said, he liked to quote the Caribbean poet Edmund Cesar. The line he liked to quote, he said, "There's room for everyone at that rendezvous of victory." There's room for everyone at that rendezvous of victory. And I think it may be, it just might be, that we're approaching that rendezvous of victory. But I hope everybody will take to heart the words that Professor Said liked to quote. He said, "There's room for everyone." It was an interesting remark, because most people, when they think of victory, they think of victors and vanquish. But Said was saying, quoting Edmund Cesar, "There's room for everyone. Just be fair. Just be reasonable. If you're reasonable, if you're fair, there's room for everyone at that rendezvous of victory." What does it mean? It means, first of all, we have to be principled. And principle is not an abstract concept. Principle has a concrete meaning. Palestinians have certain rights under international law. The law is very clear. The West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem are occupied Palestinian territory. Israel has no right to 1 inch of the West Bank, Gaza, or East Jerusalem. Bear in mind that when you're applauding, it may disappoint you, you're not applauding a radical statement. All 15 judges on the International Court of Justice, that's what they said in July 2004. All of the West Bank, all of Gaza, all of East Jerusalem are occupied Palestinian territories. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, they both said the law is the Palestinian refugees from 1948 and those of succeeding generations which have maintained genuine needs to the land, they have the right to return. That's the law. And so our first task is to be principled, to uphold the law. And then the second has task, in my opinion, is to be reasonable. And being reasonable means showing the other side that there is a way out. That it doesn't have to go on through eternity. There's a way out. It doesn't have to come to some apocalyptic climax. That if you're reasonable and if you're fair, there's room for everyone at the rendezvous of victory. Does it sound reasonable? Does it sound fair? That it's okay if Palestinians go to bed at night hungry, so long as they're not starving. 60% of the Palestinian population in Gaza is under 18 years of age. Is it fair? Is it reasonable that about 750,000 children, so long as they're not starving, it's okay to go to bed hungry at night? Does that sound fair? Does it sound reasonable? Just be fair, be reasonable. And I think we can achieve that settlement. You know, I am determined. This may sound very selfish, but I am determined before I pass from that scene to get to that rendezvous of victory. I don't know if I'm going to be jogging there. Unlikely. My bones are beginning to creak. I don't know if I'm going to be walking there. A higher likelihood. Or I may need a cane. I may need a wheelchair. I may need a stretcher with life supports. And Ahmed is going to have to hold one of the bars of that stretcher. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'm determined to see that day just like you saw your day on January 25th. That was your day, and I want to see another rendezvous victory, one which I've invested quite a lot, I think, or something like this. But there's one trick that everybody in that room, in this room, knows the trick. And the trick is, it cannot be done alone. It's either all of us, just as all of you did on January 25th, a concerted effort by all of you, or it's not going to happen. Some of you know the folk singer Pete Seeger. How many of you know the name now? Okay, he's a kind of American treasure, good looking folk singer. And he was once talking about the lyrics from the song The Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow. Now, how many of you know that? Raise your hand if you know that. Okay. And as you know, at the very end of the song, Dorothy says, she says, bluebirds can do it, they can fly over the rainbow. And then Dorothy says, why, oh why can't I? And Pete Seeger, he recently turned 92, and he said, speaking about those lyrics, he said, because Dorothy, it's not just about you. He said, what you should be saying is, why can't you and I? And that's the main message which everybody here in this room knows. If we're going to reach that rendezvous of victory, it's going to have to be all of us together. So, I look forward to seeing everybody in this room at our rendezvous of victory. Thank you. such a special and wonderful family. I want to recognize this is here and now. Here goes. Ali, are you here? Is Ali?